segment is that, these allegations are alleged to have occurred over decades to many little girls. So whether the government, the U.S. Attorney's Office of New York, or the U.S. Attorney's Office of Florida, or whoever, the Barrister General, whatever it's called in Great Britain, it seems to me like there's a host of victims and many opportunities the government has if they get this case wrong on Mrs. Maxwell. So the fact of the matter is, though, whatever was confiscated in the late 2000s cannot be linked to the 90s conduct, and that's why those materials were excluded from the jury, because that's simply just fanning the fire of conviction, and it's just going to do more damage than it would shed light, especially since it's based on conduct that's many years, if not over a decade, removed from what happened in 94, 95, 96, and 97, which is really one thing that in that regard helps the defense at that time, because they're looking at a time period where you're locked into a period of time that it's a limited period of time. So conduct outside of it can be arguably excluded, which is what happened here. Testimonies from outside that time period can arguably be excluded. Don't know if that's going to happen. Judge did not slam the door to trying to get that information in. It's just in this, with what the jury's heard at that point, with the witnesses they have at that point, they couldn't validate that, yep, those things were in the house in 94, and they were in the house in 04, and they were in the house in what have you, right? There's no way to tie that conduct back to those 3-4 years of criminal activities related to these three victims. So it's something that ultimately the jury may hear, right? Especially when it comes to the punishment, whether the jury or the court is going to do the punishment hearing. And the fact of the matter is that it's the judge's job to make sure that judgments and decisions based on improper evidence are prevented, right? And that's the court's job. The court's job is the gatekeeper, and not only is it there to ensure